Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Yeah, I decided to come inside today because I'm just tired of being wet today. I know. You know how that is. You've been wanting it to rain for weeks now. I don't know. It's been 6 or 8 weeks since we had any kind of really significant rain, and it's just been so dry that everything's dusty. There's just dust on everything. It's in your mouth when you're out walking around. It's just dry. I mean, it's not been really that hot, but it's been really dry. And we finally get rain, and it's been raining since like 7 o'clock last night. And I'm not complaining. I'm very happy that it's raining. This is good to get this kind of a good soaking rain in the fall. But I'm done being wet today. So, and it's pouring right now. I mean, you can probably hear it. You can probably hear it on the microphone. This is a metal roof. It's insulated and everything, but you can only stop so much sound of heavy rain hitting a metal roof, you know. So, I sorry, you know, you just can't have a creek video today. I've changed the green screen. No creek green screen today. Anyways, I wanted to get into some news today because it's happening, and you know the stuff's happening, and the bad stuff's happening. Oh, was talking to a good friend of mine today that's part of our, community, and we were discussing things that we need to focus on, and everyone like in our little mag group, whatever you call it, we're all have pretty decent preparations, but we were talking about what we need to be doing, what things that we need as a group. Okay, these are items that it might be silly for one person to purchase, but what about group purchasing? Things that are for a group, and so that's something to be thinking about as you have your little mag, your tribe, your little community is yes, each individual family needs to be focusing on their preparations, making sure they have enough food and medicine and water supply, infiltration and guns and ammo and all that kind of stuff, tools and homesteading implements, things like that. But are there some things that as a group you should probably focus on, maybe medical supplies, communications, things like that you're probably going to all have to pitch in and purchase something, because it's something as a group that would be helpful, something to think about. Wanted to get on with this news, so let me open up a shared screen here. There we go. All right. Well, I said the other day, in fact, I think it was the title of a video asking if Biden is just trying to get us into a war with everyone. And once again, the U.S. vows full military defense of allies against North Korea. So we've committed ourselves with obviously Ukraine. I mean, officially we don't have any troops on the ground in country. I would be absolutely shocked to find out that there were absolutely no American assets on the ground in Ukraine. I'm sure there's probably some type of special operations, military special operations units, and probably intelligence agent units, CIA, that kind of stuff. So, but we're certainly sending, tens of billions of dollars over there. And then just last week, I believe it was, we committed basically to protecting Taiwan against China militarily. We committed to, verbally anyways, there's no written agreement, there's no treaty or anything like that, but we committed verbally to getting the American military ready to defend Taiwan from China. And now we are vows full military defense of its allies against North Korea. So South Korea, Japan, who knows what else? Guam, well, that's part of America anyway. So America's at a place now that it would be difficult for us to win one war against a major adversary. China, Russia, maybe not with North Korea, but I think North Korea could give us a good run for our money. But going into potentially multiple wars, multiple fronts, not a good thing. And this isn't just my opinion. The Heritage Foundation, I don't have it brought up, but the Heritage Foundation did a study and said that the American military is not capable of a multiple front war, and maybe not even capable of a singular front war against a major adversary. That may hurt your feelings, but it's just the truth. And yet here we are going around pledging our assistance, our money, our men, our boys to all of these countries. I mean, we've pledged them, to NATO and Western Europe through the NATO treaty. And here we are going around telling everybody we're going to defend the whole world against China and against North Korea and against Russia and against Iran and Syria and India. I know India isn't a military threat, but economic potentially if we don't keep them as an ally, and we're losing that one. And then all the South American countries, Argentina, Venezuela, Cuba, we're going to defend the world, America and America alone. Because there's certainly no other nation out there that we ally with that really has the potential to defend the rest of the world, okay? All of our allies' militaries together, I don't know if they would even be equal to our military on its own. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't done the research. It's just, off the top of my head. Kind of makes you think about the old Bible scripture, the wars and rumors of wars. Russia is still talking about this dirty bomb plan. They went to the United Nations, or actually, apparently, according to this article, they sent a letter to the United Nations Security Council. Here it is. Moscow sent a letter to the United Nations on Monday, talking about this dirty bomb thing. They're really talking it up. I mean, if there is in fact nothing there, Russia's going to look pretty stupid. Today, and I don't have this brought up either, but I did see a little video clip from Biden today. He was asked, what his opinion was, and he said, "Well, I blah, 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 and I don't really know if it's a fake news. I don't know if it's a false flag. I just don't really know." Well, maybe they're not telling the big guy what's really going on, but apparently he doesn't know. He doesn't know if it's legitimate. He doesn't know if it's a fake news, a false flag. He doesn't know. So could it be real? It's possible. Border news. I wanted to talk about this. Saw this pop up because I believe it's connected. This is the last two things we just talked about. New Border Patrol numbers show an alarming number of terrorists entering the U.S. Now, you always have to remember when we're talking about Border Patrol numbers. The official numbers are only what they catch, okay? So when you see a number that last month they captured, they confronted 276,000, illegals cross that's the ones that they catch. That does not account for the ones that slip by. And they can give you estimates on that, but we don't really know. So we're seeing here that alarming number of terrorists entering. According to this article, the 4 years of Trump's presidency doesn't even come close to equaling what's come through. So if you're looking here at this is a screenshot thing of a Twitter tweet. So the fiscal years of 17, 18, 19, and 20, netted a total of 11. My math is right. 11 total potential terrorists were caught crossing the border illegally. And last year was 15, and this year was 98. Now, here's a question, and I don't have an answer for. Maybe there isn't an answer for it. How many of these million or two that's been crossing for the last couple of years aren't necessarily terrorists, but they're not coming here for work or for a free ride, but they're nationals of other nations that are coming here, trained to infiltrate and cause, to infiltrate our nation. We don't know. That's the problem with allowing so many people to cross this border. So now we've got lots of terrorists coming across the border. And like I said, I think that we should at least entertain the thought of this being connected to global war things going on. I mean, think about it. If you had the intentions of within the next year or two potentially going to war against another nation, and you knew their borders were open, and you could send tens of thousands, you could send hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of your trained people through as illegals, and give them plans, infiltrate the whole nation, and be able to, at a moment's notice, because communication would be easy. They come over, we give them cell phones when they cross the border. We hand them a cell phone. Well, now I can call home. Get online on TikTok and Snapchat and all that kind of stuff, and communicate however they want. They don't have to use like top secret encrypted communications. And think of the infrastructure damage that could be done. Poisoning of water supplies, blowing up of electrical stations, substations, all kinds of stuff, dams, bridges. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could happen. Do we know that that's happening? No, we don't. At least I've not seen any solid evidence at all to indicate that that's happened. But it sure would be real easy for people to do that. I mean, really easy. And if you look at some of the breakdown over the last year or two of nationalities, there's a lot of other nationalities than just South American that are coming across. It's not just Mexicans and other South American countries. There are lots of Europeans, Eastern Europeans, Asians, all kinds coming across that border illegally. And, well, we don't really know who they are. In other news, today Biden gets his latest, ching, sorry for hitting the microphone, gets his latest thing in the arm, and he urges Americans to do the same. Now, it's interesting, when he did this, he also gave a little talk afterwards about how this is a global health emergency, and everyone needs to go out and get their thingy. Everyone needs to go get their thingy because it's a global health emergency. Except last month he was on 60 Minutes saying that the pandemic is over. He's like, oh, no, it's over. What are you talking about? No, no one around here is wearing a mask. I don't know that I have a video clip of it. I don't think there was one in this article. Anyways, but so a month ago it was over and people aren't wearing masks and they've all gone back to work and everything's fine. Oh, we got a little pop-up here from the Washington Post. Stay informed with the updates. Woo, we could do that. Probably not, though. So last month the pandemic was over, and this month it's a global health emergency and you need to go out there and get your stuff. He also said today that if you're up to date, completely up to date, that you'll almost certainly not die if you get the the only people that are going to be dying from that are the people that aren't up to date. So it doesn't matter if you even had 1 or 2 or 3 or 10. If it's not up to date, then sorry. It's insanity, folks. What's insane is that there are still people that are buying into this lie. There's still people buying into this lie. With all the evidence, even all the stuff that I could make a whole series of videos of just the things that's come to light since all the, started, proving that the conspiracy theorists were actually correct. In other news, housing market is crashing. This is mainstream, major news. Fortune magazine here. Housing market is crashing and is threatened to push the U.S. into recession just like it did in 1981 and 2008. So here's the thing, and there are a few kind of market guys and economists and stuff online that talk about it in this way, but not enough. How bad is things going to be economically when we've come out of this health crisis and lockdown and high inflation and global war, and we're sending tens of billions of dollars into other countries and highest level of debt ever imaginable, lacking of supply chains, people aren't going to work, they're just not, companies are laying people off because people aren't buying things, all that with a housing market crash, then how much worse is it going to be than 1981 and 2008? Think about it. Oh, and we've got food supply issues, fertilizer issues, droughts. I mean, could I just go on and on and on? So all this talk about will lead us into a recession, even though we've been in a technical recession for the last 2 quarters. How much worse is it going to be just because of all those things combined? It's not one or two or three things like it has been in the past. It's multiple things that are happening all at once. Just to give you an idea here, here's a little graph. I don't know if I can make myself smaller here. Let me try to make myself smaller so you can see that. Refinance mortgage application index. Look at this. Look at this, folks. We've got, fairly normal. It came down a little bit here. Here, this is the pandemic. So I guess, so I guess this would be the pandemic. And then okay, that's over. And everyone's like, oh, I got to get out and refinance. And then look at this. I mean, it's almost down to zero now. Yep. But everything's okay. Strongest economy in history. One last thing before I get off of here. I want to talk about this new prime minister of England. I don't really care. I don't know a whole lot about this guy. I don't follow that kind of stuff. I don't follow British news that much because it's not interesting to me. But this one is this guy. Again, don't know much about him. I don't even remember his name, but who cares? Rishi Sunak. Anyways, he is a World Economic Forum stooge. He's a Klaus Schwab buddy, and his big thing he's pushing is CBDCs. I wonder how is it he got in like this. This is weird. Now that you mention it, this new prime minister quit, and now we got this guy, or they have this guy. Listen to this.
Today, I'm proud to say that under the UK's presidency, the group of the world's 7 most advanced economies, the G7, is launching a set of public policy principles for retail central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies could be a digital version of money, a bit like a digital banknote that could be used alongside physical notes.
Okay, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. It just goes on and on about digital currency. I'd heard something, and again, this is just an opinion, someone's opinion, but I heard it a while back that, we have this idea that, Biden's going to stay into power forever, and back then it was Boris Johnson. He's, all these World Economic Forum leaders, and someone had mentioned, I remember listening to some podcast, or maybe it was a YouTube video, that it could be different. We could see multiple people come and go, and it almost looked like, oh, well, Boris, Johnson didn't do a good job. No, he just served a purpose. He served a purpose, and then they moved him on. And then that Truss woman, she came in and she served a purpose. They needed something done. They knew she could get it done, so she was put in. Now they need something else done, and that's why this guy is in. And we could see the very same thing with Biden, so not to just immediately like, oh, well, we got a new one, we got him out. Well, the replacement could be worse. The CBDC thing, it's happening, folks. I mean, it's they're pushing it. Like, I think I've got, before I get off here, how much time I got? Man, I'm running late. I'm just jabbering on and not really paying attention to the time. Let's see, there was if I can pull it up real fast here. Here we go. And let me switch over. So here's a map. And I know it's not very clear, but basically, here's America. You see all this. This is research. They're actually developing it. This one is launched. So I think that's Nigeria, is the only one that's lost it. That's launched it. But as you can see, the vast majority of the developed world, other than these countries here in Central Africa, are currently working on CBDC. So, yeah. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order if you haven't figured that out already. It's just it keeps getting worse, and we got to realize that, and we got to take things seriously. Work on our communities, our preps, our mental, our physical, and our spiritual preparedness. That's what we need to be doing. Folks, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.